Well, Disney somehow managed to lose even more money than we thought they would. When I made a mistake and said Disney lost $12 billion, I didn't know that I was right. And then some. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and I am joined today with our business correspondent, Mr. Culture Casino. Culture,
Ooh,
do you like that?
I feel busy. Thank you.
Yes, and let's get into the busyness of today. This Disney-India Reliance Industries merger nears binding agreement. Nobody was talking about the figure until today, when they confirmed pretty much everything that we were saying. This by Sarah American. Man, I love that name right there, Sarah American. It's published at 3:19 in the morning today. Wow. Reliance and Disney India. Yes, sir.
I was just going to say, it looks like 3 a.m. Nobody's paying attention at 3.
Yes. No one should be paying attention, but this is a huge amount of loss. Just so everyone knows, you could buy Pixar for $7 billion back in the day. You could buy Marvel for $4 billion back in the day, and you could buy Lucasfilm for $4.07 billion back in the day. And well, this $12 billion right here, it's let me help you understand how we get to that number. Reliance Industries and Disney India are set to sign a binding agreement to merge their assets, according to local reports. Well, if you're selling something, how do you lose money? Let's talk about that. The deal, which has been gestating for the past 2 months, I would say that's not enough time to gestate, could be signed this week, and we'll see Reliance's Ambani family overseeing a merged operation. It sounds like Disney is losing control to their largest competitor in India. The board will be chaired by Nita Ambani, wife of Reliance's multi-billionaire owner Mukesh Ambani, with former Disney India chief Uday Shankar as vice chairperson. Reuters has reported Reliance would have around a 51 to 54% of the business and values Disney's assets at around $3.5 billion, much lower than the circa $16 billion valuation put on it in 2016. Disney will hold around 40%. That $16 billion valuation, that is how much it cost when Disney bought it in 2019. This was part of the Fox assets.
Yes.
And it was rebranded. It started out as Hotstar, and then when Disney Plus bought Hotstar, they rebranded it to Disney Plus Hotstar. And while they didn't make much money in India, they were very glad to put all of those Hotstar subscribers and just add them to the totals for Disney Plus. And say, look at all the subscribers we have. And of course, as soon as that turned sour, they were saying, oh, no, we need you to understand that we never made any money on those subscribers. We're not worried about those subscribers. And then, of course, the rumors started to swirl that they were going to exit the market entirely. And to which Bob Iger said, no, that's not what I was saying when I told everyone that we are willing to weigh all options, maybe even selling ABC. Not that we're selling ABC. I don't know what I'm saying. Someone please make me an offer, though, of course. Forgive my my snark here, but yes, this was worth $16 billion 5 years ago, and now it is being traded to, they're cashing out, essentially, and keeping this sliver of the market here. Just a quick math there, Culture. What's 16 billion minus 3.5 billion?
You remind me, I don't know, 12.5 billion.
Sounds like it to me. Yes, according to my trusty calculator. Sorry, I realize I put you on the spot. As a trained accountant, I'm always taught to check my numbers before I say them out loud.
Well, but the numbers were right, because again, when you were talking about it being, they were going to lose X amount of money, you were almost spot on.
I'm like, I was shocked. First of all, someone came in and corrected me and said, okay, it was only 40% of the joint venture here, which is okay. So my 12 billion turned out to be actually 10 billion. But when we're looking at it, no, I ended up being kind of right. I did do my math incorrectly the first time. I wasn't that far off, but at least 10 billion. No, there's an additional $2.5 billion in losses. Culture, I need to ask you this question.
Okay.
How much does Disney need cash right now?
Oh boy, they're desperate for money. They're looking for it. They're like fleecing like the offices of everybody looking for change in the couch cushions. They're in big trouble. They need money bad. They need it very bad. They need to start buying back stock to artificially inflate the stock price, even though we're in the midst of a proxy war. And I still think the stock is too low.
Uh, well, yeah, there is a case to be made that the theme park business alone is worth $80 a share, the way it is handled there. No financial advice on this
No,
channel.
no.
Do not follow my financial advice
And
here.
don't listen to me at all.
I'm not in, just like Bob Iger, I'm not putting my money into the Walt Disney Company right
Oh
now.
no.
Oh, yeah, that's true. There's more on that coming up. By the way, that Park Place Live is going to be all about how much Disney stock Bob Iger has changed into cash.
Oh boy,
Because
I can't
apparently
wait.
he doesn't see that value. But let's return to the topic at
Can,
hand
can
here.
I can I interject something real quickly?
Please do.
So these numbers from 2016 put the company at 16 billion. Normally, you would think an asset like this, right, would increase in value with your
Yes.
ownership. Now, mind you,
Especially with inflation.
well, exactly. And with Disney's own opinion entering into that 2016 number, and people are like, well, wait a minute. Didn't they just close the deal in 2019? Well, yes, they did. But they went through two rounds of trying to close that deal because when they were marching forward in many different articles that you can look up right now, the deal was around 2017 that the first deal was supposed to be out there for $54 billion when they were acquiring all of the Fox things, including the sports assets. But that didn't fly with regulators. So by the time we get to their actual closing of the deal, this should have been worth even more than that $16 billion valuation, even back then.
That's a
Anyway,
Wow, that's a really good point.
yeah.
And of course, Bob Iger did pay a ridiculous amount of money for Fox, and essentially did not use it. You could say that they propped up Hulu with that, but the Hulu revenues have stayed. They've only risen slightly with the addition of Fox titles, and by the way, losing NBC titles.
Was it
Actually, no,
was
no, those Fox titles were already on there. Now that I think about it.
yeah, and the question is where did the extra premium he paid go? Because it didn't go very far, and we didn't get any he didn't get any more value out of it. That's the thing that drives me crazy. What's the difference between 54 billion, Jonas, putting you on the spot,
Uh
and
huh.
71 billion?
I would say about $17 billion.
Okay, where did that go?
Well, I believe that would be in dilution of earnings per share,
Oh,
right
okay.
there. That
There you
might
go.
be, instead of blaming a certain global event for the loss of the dividend, maybe we could blame the purchase of an entire media company and doing nothing with it except some sly references to the X-Men in a couple of Marvel movies that apparently not many people are going to see. They have yet to prove that that Fox acquisition was a good job, was a good use of anyone's money. The most that I've seen them do with that is they've cleared up the rights to Star Wars so that they can sell the digital copies of A New Hope. Maybe there's some other silver lining that we're seeing here. Maybe they are in fact getting out of this business. And Mr. Uday Shankar, I wish you all the luck in the world trying to run this company under your new boss. And maybe they won't have the pressure on you. I'm really trying to see the upside here. They intended to leave this deal with $10 billion, and they left it instead with $3.5 billion. So that's like going to the Antiques Roadshow and thinking you've got yourself a $10,000 knickknack and finding out that it's a counterfeit, and they'll offer you, oh, I'll give you about $10 for it, or you can go get a brand new replica over there for 12. Up to you.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. So, if Disney's assets are only worth about 3.5 billion in India, right, in American dollars, um,
Hmm.
Disney's only going to hold about 40% of that $3.5 billion.
No, I think the entire value is
Okay,
8.5 billion for
okay,
the
okay.
entire organization as it's collected. So if we
Oh,
Disney could have,
ooh.
I don't think Reliance would have sold it, but for the amount of money that they bought Pixar, they could have bought the entire India business over there and then just run that into the ground over the next 10 years.
Could
Forgive my
you?
cynicism here, but Disney does not have a good history with acquisitions.
Oh
The
no.
only one that seems to have gone well is ABC, and right now we're kind of seeing some problems there. Now, that's obviously very far removed. That's about
Oh
35 years.
yeah, Capital Cities is a long time ago.
Yes, and of course, ESPN has kept the company afloat in many ways. But if we ever see a separated Walt Disney company to where there's more Disney and maybe a little less of this other stuff over here, I don't know. I don't know. Could be something there. I'm not saying they need to split, but the business case for it is more apparent as time goes on. But that being said, Culture, is there anything we missed here before we check out of this and go over and talk about another issue?
Well, hey, I think the one last thing I would say is that somehow Murdoch still has a hand in India. And
Yes, he does. Oh, it's so funny. Bob Iger's book, him talking about Murdoch being like, I'm thinking about getting out of this business, and you've done such a good job with that Marvel and that Lucasfilm and Pixar over there. Do you think maybe there might be someone who could buy this company that I just can't seem to make work? It would take a strong a prognosticator of the weather in order to shepherd all of my assets in my dotage. I'm sorry. This is so mean. But seriously,
it's accurate.
The first rule of business is you don't buy assets you don't understand
or need. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, there's a good point. And if not, it's a luxury item. It's a leisure purchase. It's a vanity item. That being said, guys, I realize we're being a little bit more harsh than usual, but my goodness, $12.5 billion in losses that no one is going to be talking about. This is the first time that anyone has mentioned the massive losses from the Reliance merger. And thank you very much, Sarah American, for your great Sarah American take. Yes. That being said, like this video if you like this video, share it out if you know someone who is interested in the final number here. And of course, consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news.
I just had to interrupt you.
Yes,
you were doing a great outro, and I had to interrupt you because Disney's still going to be evaluating its value up until the actual close of the deal.
Oh no. So it's not even pinned to a specific date the way the Hulu one is. And by the way, that Hulu price still not settled. So yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
No, it's not going to be settled until sometime next year.
Oh no!
Sorry, the end of this year, I should say. Maybe the end of the start of the next fiscal year for Disney. Yeah,
no.
That's being held up. So please stay tuned to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.